Welcome back to the Rescue Mission Podcast by City Vision University, where we bridge tradition and innovation. To help build that bridge, Season 1 of our podcast is focused on the history and values of rescue missions, while Season 2 is focused primarily on innovations and best practices relevant to rescue missions. You can find the show notes for this episode and subscribe to our newsletter at rescuemissions.cityvision.edu.
Imagine getting a second chance at life. The chance to rebuild from the ground up. We often focus on the immediate needs, that warm meal, the safe bed for the night, and while those are absolutely critical,
It's essential.
the real key to lasting transformation, to breaking cycles of homelessness, addiction, or past mistakes, is often found in equipping individuals with new skills and helping them find stable, meaningful work.
That's exactly right. It's really about empowering individuals not just to survive today, but to actually build a sustainable future. Providing that clear path to self-sufficiency is transformative. It restores dignity, purpose, capability in ways that emergency aid, it just can't accomplish on its own for the long haul.
And that powerful idea is exactly what we're diving into today. We're taking a deep dive into how gospel rescue missions, these incredible organizations on the front lines of tackling homelessness and poverty, are approaching workforce development. We've got a stack of sources shared by a listener who's really interested in this. We're talking research reports, university program descriptions, mission impact summaries, even some video transcripts. It's quite a mix.
Yeah, it looks like a really rich collection showing how these groups are designing and implementing vocational training and job programs. And for individuals who face some of the most significant barriers to employment imaginable.
Right. Huge barriers.
So our mission for this deep dive really is to unpack all this material. We want to understand the diversity of job and skill training these missions offer. Everything from traditional skilled trades to modern digital literacy and even accredited academic certificates.
Yep.
And crucially, we want to identify some practical, replicable best practices. What can we learn from these sources about what actually works to equip individuals for sustainable livelihoods? How do we help them truly build that new future?
Exactly. And as you listen, think about the immense challenges someone faces when they're trying to get back into the workforce. Maybe after experiencing homelessness, battling addiction, perhaps having a history with the justice system. It's not just about learning to use a tool or, operate a computer.
No, not at all.
It's about navigating past trauma, rebuilding shattered confidence, learning to manage personal finances, sometimes even just establishing a consistent routine after years of, chaos.
Mm-hmm.
How do these programs manage to address all of that? How do they provide not just a job, but that new sense of purpose and capability?
Let's dig in. Okay, so to really appreciate the impact and frankly, the necessity of vocational training in this context, we first need to understand the terrain. What's the landscape these missions are operating in? What are the core challenges that make simply getting and keeping a job so incredibly difficult for the folks walking through their doors?
Right. Setting that scene is key. And the sources, they really lay out a complex web of barriers that clients are typically facing.
They really do. We're talking about individuals often in active addiction or maybe just starting that really challenging path of recovery.
Yeah.
Many have faced generational poverty. Trauma and mental health issues are incredibly common.
Yeah.
There's frequently a significant lack of basic education, specific job skills, and often they carry the heavy burden of a history of justice involvement. That creates major hiring hurdles right there.
Wow. That list alone feels overwhelming. Just one of those factors could stop someone from getting a job.
Precisely. And these challenges, they aren't isolated, They're deeply interconnected. A lack of skills might lead to unstable housing, which fuels anxiety and depression, which then can make sobriety incredibly difficult to maintain. It's a cycle.
A vicious cycle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that cycle creates this significant employment deficit. Employment isn't just about not having a job. It's often a symptom and sometimes a perpetuator of the broader life challenges someone is facing.
So just getting someone, say, a minimum wage job for a few weeks probably isn't going to break that cycle if those underlying issues aren't being addressed.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And that's why, as these sources really emphasize, the goal of the effective programs isn't just temporary employment or some kind of quick fix. It's about holistic development aimed at sustainable livelihoods. Sustainable.
Okay.
It means addressing the whole person, their past experiences, their immediate needs, and importantly, their potential for a completely different future.
And it sounds like this training doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's often woven into something larger.
That's a critical point, and the sources make it very clear. training frequently happens within the context of longer-term comprehensive programs. Think residential recovery programs or discipleship programs like City Union Mission's Mission Works is part of their long-term programming.
Oh, okay.
Union Gospel Mission Dallas, they tie training directly into their discipleship model. These longer programs provide the necessary stability, the safe housing, the counseling, the consistent community support that allows someone to actually have the capacity to focus on healing and rebuilding their skills.
That makes sense.
One of the City Vision University sources uses the phrase safety first, then processing, which really highlights that you need that foundational stability in place before you can effectively engage in deeper healing, skill building, planning for the future, all of that.
That resonates strongly. I mean, if you're still in survival mode, worried about where you'll sleep tomorrow night, it's incredibly difficult to commit the mental and emotional energy needed to learn a trade or study for a certificate, right?
Exactly right. And these mission programs, they're directly responding to that stark reality that, as some of the materials state, many clients struggle to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
So they are intentionally creating these structured pathways, designed not just to help someone find a job, but to secure and maintain employment that can actually support them and help them build a stable future.
Okay, so the why is crystal clear. It's essential for holistic, sustainable transformation given these complex barriers. Now, let's get into the what. What kinds of skills and vocations are these missions actually equipping people with? The sources reveal a surprisingly broad spectrum.
And broad is definitely the word. It's really not one size fits all. The sources demonstrate a real diversity in the training offered, which is crucial. You have to match both the demands of the local labor market and the unique interests and aptitudes of the clients.
Oh, sure.
Not everyone wants to do the same thing, and not every job is available in every city.
And I was particularly struck by the fact that some programs are offering academic and certificate pathways, not just, hands-on trades.
Yeah, that's a really significant dimension. City Vision University is a prime example here. They partner with many missions to offer undergraduate certificate programs that are directly relevant to this population.
Okay, like what sort of programs?
Well, the list includes certificates in addiction counseling, business administration, Christian ministry, nonprofit management, nonprofit fundraising, retail management, and food service management.
Wow, that's effectively offering college-level credentials. How do those directly translate into job opportunities for someone coming out of a mission program? That seems like a big leap for some.
It can be, but let's unpack that. Mm-hmm. The addiction counseling certificate, for instance, is incredibly powerful. It prepares students for professional certification, like with NADIDES, that's the National Association for Addiction Professionals.
Right.
So for someone with lived experience in recovery, this is a direct path to becoming what's often called a wounded healer.
Ah, I've heard that term.
They can leverage their own journey of overcoming addiction to connect with and help others on that same path. One of the sources highlights that often the best addiction counselors are those who have recovered from addiction themselves. It literally transforms a painful past into a professional asset, maybe even a calling.
That concept of the wounded healer is incredibly powerful, turning a past struggle into a source of strength and expertise. That's really something.
It absolutely is. Then you have things like business administration, retail management, and food service management. These provide formal skills and credentials for entry into pretty accessible sectors. Retail and food service are common first steps, right?
Sure, lots of entry-level jobs there.
But the certificates offer pathways for advancement, moving into management roles, as one of the City Vision sources mentions. So it's not just entry-level, it's about a career path.
Got it. And nonprofit management and fundraising, that seems like a natural fit for people who have lived experience within the mission world itself.
They really are. These skills equip individuals for roles like administration, program coordination, or maybe development and fundraising roles within missions themselves, or other nonprofits addressing similar social issues. It aligns with their lived experience and often a deep desire to give back to the community that supported them.
Yeah, I can see that.
The sources even suggest these certificates can bridge the gap for former clients to become mission staff, creating a valuable grow-your-own talent pipeline.
That's a fantastic cycle. Someone is helped, they gain skills, and then they turn around and help others in the same situation, often within the very organization that helped them. That's brilliant.
And for individuals who experience a strong calling to faith-based service during their transformation journey, well, the Christian Ministry Certificate provides the foundational knowledge for ministry roles within churches or other faith-based organizations. It's another path that aligns deeply with the spiritual component, often present in these missions.
Okay.
And City Vision also mentions graduate certificates are available too, indicating potential for further education down the line.
So we have these academic certificate pathways, often facilitated by partnerships like with City Vision University. But the sources also show extensive hands-on training in more traditional skilled trades and vocational areas, right?
Oh yes, definitely. The range here is vast and really speaks to the diverse needs and local opportunities. Cherry Street Mission, for instance, they offer training in automotive technology, building trades, culinary arts, forklift operation, machining and machine repair, office assistant, and welding.
Wow, that's quite a list. Forklift operation, very practical.
Very practical. And they even operate a food truck as a practical training ground.
A food truck as a classroom. That's actually a really creative way to get real-world culinary and customer service experience.
It really is. Think about it. Menu planning, prep, cooking, serving, handling money, customer interaction. All right there.
Yeah. What about other missions?
Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries lists culinary arts, landscaping, video editing production, web design, residential wiring, and small engine repairs.
Video editing and web design. That's moving into more digital skills, too.
Exactly. City Union Mission covers building trades, welding, manufacturing, warehousing, culinary skills, transportation, barbering, IT, and technology.
Barbering is another specific skill you might not immediately think of, but yeah, clearly a viable trade.
Definitely. Orange County Rescue Mission launched a 12-week skilled trades program focused specifically on addressing labor shortages in their area. They teach carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, and drywall installation, all through a hands-on building project.
Learning by actually building something, that's gotta be effective.
Springs Rescue Mission offers culinary arts, custodial work, and construction trades.
And St. Matthew's House seems to leverage their internal operations quite extensively for training.
They absolutely do. St. Matthew's House uses their various social enterprises, their thrift stores, catering service, kitchen, hospitality operations, even their farming operations as practical training environments.
Farming operations? Really?
Yeah. So this covers areas like retail, customer service, inventory management, food prep and service, kitchen operations, event management, hospitality, front desk, housekeeping, and agriculture farming.
Agriculture and farming that really broadens the picture of what's possible. That's fascinating.
It highlights how missions are looking at all available resources and local needs. It's pretty innovative. Union Gospel Mission Dallas uses partners for certifications in things like OSHA compliance, forklift operation again, and skills in restaurant, hospitality, retail, and security. At the same time, they provide extensive internal training within their discipleship program, covering things like food prep, serving, custodial work, switchboard operation, maintenance, client intake, jobs right there within the mission.
It really sounds like these internal work opportunities and the social enterprises are a very intentional way to provide that hands-on practical experience while also, supporting the mission's own operations.
They are invaluable. Places like Cherry Street's food truck, Springs Rescue Missions, Mission Catering, Milltrotter Ministries' Next Step Woodshop, St. Matthew's House's diverse operations, and UGM Dallas's internal jobs. They offer a safe, supportive environment to learn by doing. And crucially, to develop work habits and practice those essential soft skills alongside the technical ones.
Okay. And beyond the trades and certificates, the sources also emphasize the need for foundational skills.
Right.
Especially given today's job market.
Absolutely critical. Many individuals entering these programs might have significant gaps in basic education or digital literacy. Missions recognize they need to address this. So you see examples like training in basic computer skills, math and reading refreshers, how to use online job banks, completing digital applications, familiarity with software like MS Office or Google Apps, even cloud computing or IT essentials.
Standard stuff for many jobs now.
Exactly. UGM Dallas has learning centers. Central Union Mission, City Union Mission, Springs Rescue Mission, they all mention digital literacy or computer training.
And for those who might not have completed high school, is there help with that too, like getting a GED?
Yes, definitely. That foundational literacy and numeracy piece is provided by missions like City Union Mission, Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries, Central Union Mission, and Buffalo City Mission. They offer adult basic education and GED or high-set preparation. It's often a necessary first step for individuals who need that basic educational framework before they can successfully tackle vocational training or navigate the modern job market effectively.
Okay, so summing up it's an incredible range. We've got college-level certificates leveraging lived experience leading to professional roles. We've got hands-on training in diverse trades mirroring local job markets, plus the essential digital and basic education needed to function today. It really demonstrates a commitment to meeting individuals where they are and providing multiple pathways forward.
It really does. It reflects a sophisticated understanding, I think, of the varied talents and potentials of their clients, and a responsiveness to the practical demands of the job market. But, as we discussed earlier, just having the technical skills, well, it isn't always sufficient for long-term success, is it?
Not at all. And Section 3 in our outline really dives into that crucial piece. Building the whole person through essential life skills, soft skills, and personal development. This seems just as important.
The sources consistently highlight this. Technical proficiency is necessary, sure, but it's just one part of the equation. True success in the workplace, and maybe more importantly, in maintaining stability and preventing relapse or returning to homelessness. It requires a strong foundation of essential life skills and those crucial soft skills.
What are some of the key life skills these programs are focusing on? The City Vision University sources seem particularly detailed here, suggesting a curriculum that goes way beyond just job tasks.
Yeah, they outline several critical areas for personal development that are integrated right into the training. Personal finance is huge, covering budgeting, debt reduction, saving, often incorporating a framework of biblical financial stewardship, using resources like Financial Peace. This is mentioned by City Vision, City Union Mission, Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries, UGM Dallas.
Makes sense. Financial stress must be a major trigger for many people in these situations.
Absolutely. Equipping clients with the ability to manage their money is vital for maintaining long-term stability after they leave the structured program. Huge source of anxiety removed, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. What else?
Another key area is emotional intelligence. This involves understanding and managing your own emotions, recognizing and responding appropriately to the emotions of others, building healthy relationships, navigating workplace dynamics, managing stress effectively.
So like people skills.
Exactly. People skills, self-awareness, self-management. City Vision's MIN 206 course focuses explicitly on this. Springs Rescue Mission also lists soft skills that encompass these abilities. These are fundamental for positive interactions and successfully navigating the social environment of any job. And life, really.
And understanding why you're working, finding meaning in it that ties into the idea of vocation and calling you mentioned earlier.
Precisely. City Vision's MIN 101, called Vocation, Calling, and Purpose of Work, and City Union Mission's use of a theology of work curriculum, they help individuals explore their strengths, their passions, and develop a life plan that integrates maybe their faith and their work. It's about moving beyond seeing a job just as a paycheck and finding deeper meaning and direction. That's incredibly important for sustained motivation after significant life changes.
It really transforms work from just a necessity into something that contributes to a fulfilling life, doesn't it?
Which is a huge part of building that new identity, that new future. Holistic personal health and spirituality is another integrated area. City Vision's GEN 110 course connects physical well-being, nutrition, exercise, basic health care with spiritual health.
Okay.
The sources point out that improving physical health can have a significant positive impact on mental health conditions like depression and anxiety, which in turn supports sobriety and overall stability. It acknowledges that strong mind-body-spirit connection.
And I noticed some of the curricula address very modern challenges too.
Yeah, that was interesting. City Vision's addiction counseling courses, for example, touch on technology, life balance, and behavioral addictions.
Behavioral addictions? Like what?
Well, managing technology use in a healthy way, and being aware of the potential to transfer chemical addictions to behavioral ones, things like excessive work, gambling, gaming, internet use, stuff like that.
Ah, right. Those are definitely relevant contemporary challenges that could undermine recovery if they're not addressed.
For sure. Other practical life skills mentioned across the sources include things like time management, general communication skills, problem solving, conflict resolution, even parenting skills at places like Springs Rescue Mission and San Diego Rescue Mission.
All foundational abilities needed not just for success in a job, but really for stability and healthy functioning in everyday life. These aren't minor soft skills. They sound like essential competencies.
That's a good way to put it. Essential competencies for successful living.
Which leads directly into those essential soft skills and the work ethic that employers are always emphasizing.
Right. Teamwork, leadership, adaptability, professionalism. These are explicitly listed by Springs Rescue Mission and Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries as key components they teach. and instilling a strong work ethic is fundamental. City Union Mission has this element called practice work, where participants work a structured schedule within the mission. That helps reestablish routine and work habits. Their theology of work curriculum also discusses work virtues.
So things like reliability, ethics, accountability, timeliness, these are often learned behaviors that get reinforced through that supervised practical work you mentioned.
They are. Central Union Mission's professional development program includes a 3-day immersion focusing specifically on workplace performance, reliability, and ethics. UGM Dallas emphasizes accountability and timeliness in its job readiness training. Experiential work within the mission setting provides that safe place to practice these behaviors and receive constructive feedback before entering an external job. It's like a training ground for professional behavior.
And finally, the very practical steps needed to actually get the job, resume writing and all that.
Yes, practical job readiness is a core component across the board. This includes hands-on help with resume building, filling out online and paper job applications, practicing interviewing skills through mock interviews, and creating a career map or plan.
Who offers that kind of help?
These steps are listed by Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries, City Union Mission, Phoenix Rescue Mission, Springs Rescue Mission, San Diego Rescue Mission, Central Union Mission, and UGM Dallas. Pretty widespread.
So these are the direct actions that bridge the gap between having the skills and actually getting hired. Crucial.
And they're often coupled with broader job search strategies and assistance. How to find openings, how to network effectively, how to market oneself. City Vision's ORG 201 course covers this, as do programs at Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries, Phoenix Rescue Mission, and Springs Rescue Mission.
So putting it all together, the training isn't just vocational skills, it's this powerful combination. Technical skills or academic credentials, foundational life skills for personal stability, crucial soft skills for navigating relationships in the workplace, and practical job search strategies. It's a truly holistic approach.
It really is. It aims at preparing someone not just for employment, but really for a new way of life.
It recognizes that the barriers aren't simply a lack of technical knowledge, but about rebuilding the entire structure of a life that has been significantly disrupted by past challenges.
Exactly.
Okay, so we understand why this training is essential, what diverse skills are being taught, and the critical life and soft skills that wrap around the technical instruction. Now, let's explore the actual structure of these programs, the methods they use, and the crucial support systems that make it all possible. How do they actually deliver all this?
Well, the sources highlight that missions employ a variety of delivery methods, often combining them, actually, to cater to different learning styles and the specific skills being taught. It's not just one way.
Right. So there's the traditional classroom or online instruction, which makes sense for theoretical knowledge or maybe preparing for certifications.
Right. Things like City Vision University's online model, which offers huge flexibility. Or Detroit Rescue Ministries GED classes. Or the classroom components you see in Cherry Street missions programs. Online delivery, in particular, lets students learn at their own pace and access accredited education without needing to be physically present in a traditional college classroom. That's a big advantage for many.
But the hands-on experiential learning seems absolutely central to many of the trade programs we talked about.
Oh, definitely. Learning by doing is incredibly powerful, especially for developing practical skills and those all-important work habits. City Union Mission has what they call workstations, structured work opportunities right within the mission itself, or maybe it's thrift stores.
Okay.
The social enterprises and numerous missions, like we discussed the food truck, the wood shop, the catering, they serve this exact purpose. Orange County Rescue Mission's 12-week program involves actually building a structure, providing real, tangible construction experience. This approach develops what educators sometimes call tacit knowledge, those skills you gain through practice that are actually quite hard to explain or teach effectively just from a textbook.
And it's probably in those settings where those work ethic principles like timeliness and accountability are really practiced in a real-world context, albeit a supportive one.
Exactly. A safe place to practice and get feedback. Many programs also use structured, curriculum-based learning. They implement specific, vetted materials like financial peace for finance, maybe a specific theology of work curriculum, or recovery-focused programs like the Genesis process. They integrate this established content into their program structure.
And City Vision's Learn, Do, Teach model, particularly for their Wounded Healers program, that sounded like it has a deeper layer of impact. Can you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, that model is really designed to promote profound integration of the material. So first, students learn concepts, say, principles of addiction counseling.
Okay, learn it.
Then they do. They apply those concepts to their own life experiences and their own recovery journey. They process their own past through that new lens.
Right, applies to themselves.
Finally, they prepare to teach or counsel others based on what they've learned and applied. The sources point out the therapeutic benefits here, like preparing to teach relapse prevention helps solidify your own understanding and commitment to sobriety.
That makes sense. Teaching reinforces learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it builds immense self-efficacy and competence. Successfully applying knowledge and then preparing to help others directly counteracts those past feelings of failure or inadequacy that many carry. Plus, the communication, empathy, and leadership skills developed in that teach phase.
Yeah.
Highly transferable to all sorts of jobs.
That's a really ingenious way to deepen learning and build confidence simultaneously. Very clever. How are these different learning components structured over time? Is it just random or is there a progression?
No, programs often have defined phases that provide a clear path of progression, like Cherry Street Mission's model: land here, learn here, and launch here. That helps participants see their journey forward through the steps.
Okay.
City Union Mission uses customized learning plans tailored to each individual's assessment and goals, so it's personalized.
And learning as part of a group. That seems like it would offer valuable support, especially for people who might feel isolated.
Definitely. City Vision University's strategic partnerships with missions like Springs Rescue Mission and St. Matthew's House often involve cohort models. Groups of students go through the program together. Learning alongside peers who understand your background fosters mutual support, accountability, a sense of community.
Yeah, shared experience.
And as we mentioned earlier, the integration with longer recovery or discipleship programs is really the foundation that provides the stability for all this learning to happen.
Right, it's not standalone.
It's absolutely essential. UGM Dallas, City Union Missions, Mission Works, Nashville Rescue Mission's Life Recovery Program, they weave training directly into the overall transformation journey. It's not just taking a class. It's part of rebuilding a whole life structure.
And I saw a mention of stackable credentials earlier. What does that look like in practice? How does that work?
Yeah, so City Vision University offers certificates that can then be applied towards an associate's or even a bachelor's degree later on. This means someone can complete a shorter certificate program, gain skills for immediate employment, maybe get their feet under them.
Okay.
And then, if they choose and are ready, they can continue their education down the line, building on the credits they've already earned. It allows for flexible, progressive advancement over time.
That's great. It sounds like these programs are very intentionally designed to support the learner through multiple methods, structures, phases.
They are, and critically, this structure is supported by an integrated ecosystem of services. Vocational training rarely succeeds in isolation. Case management is crucial, guiding individuals through their plan, connecting them to resources. Counseling is vital for addressing the underlying trauma, mental health issues, addiction, those significant barriers to employment stability.
And stable housing. That feels like the absolute baseline requirement for any of this to actually work.
It is foundational. Emergency shelter, transitional housing, even dedicated workforce housing like Mel Trotter Ministries' Next Step Campus or Orange County Rescue Missions facilities. They provide the stability needed to engage in recovery and training. It goes right back to that safety first, then processing idea we talked about. You need that safety net.
And what happens after they complete the training or get a job? Is there continued support? Or is it just good luck?
No, good programs emphasize aftercare and post-placement support. That's absolutely crucial for long-term job retention and preventing relapse. City Union Mission has alumni support networks. Nashville Rescue Mission mentions specific aftercare services. Springs Rescue Mission provides ongoing support to graduates. This continued connection helps individuals navigate challenges that inevitably arise after they leave the structured program environment. It's a bridge.
And of course, the missions provide that whole range of other basic needs too, right? Legal aid, medical, dental care, food, clothing, hygiene, removing those day-to-day survival barriers so people can actually focus on their recovery and future.
Exactly. It's a comprehensive wraparound model where vocational training is a key pathway, yes, but it's embedded within a larger system of support designed to foster total life stability and success.
This holistic approach is clearly essential, but wow, no single mission can possibly be an expert or provider of everything they need. That's where the power of partnerships must come in, right? Section 5 is all about how collaboration amplifies the reach and effectiveness of these programs.
Partnerships are absolutely pivotal. You hit the nail on the head. They allow missions to offer a wider range of specialized training they couldn't possibly provide on their own. Often, these partnerships lead to recognized, accredited credentials, which carry weight in the job market. And crucially, they create direct pathways to employment with external businesses.
Okay, let's talk about those collaborations. The ones with educational institutions seem particularly impactful.
They really are. Partnerships with organizations like City Vision University or local community colleges, they provide access to formal, accredited education and certificates. We saw Cherry Street Mission partners with Owens and Northwest State Community Colleges. UGM Dallas works with the Oasis Center and TG Academy for specific certifications.
Right.
Central Union Mission has partnerships for IT training through Cisco and Sailor Academy. Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries collaborates with local colleges. It's a common strategy.
And City Vision University's partnership model with rescue missions, you mentioned it earlier, it sounds particularly innovative in terms of making higher education financially accessible. Can we dive into that a bit more?
Yes, this is a really significant point highlighted in the sources and worth understanding. City Vision offers tiered partnership levels, affiliate, scholarship, and strategic. These provide substantial tuition discounts to mission clients and also staff.
Okay, discounts are good.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The sources repeatedly emphasize that Pell grants federal financial aid, which many eligible mission clients qualify for based on their financial need. These grants can often cover the entire cost of tuition, especially at the reduced partnership rates.
Wait, say that again? The whole cost. So, accredited college-level certificates in fields like counseling or business can be virtually free for someone rebuilding their life.
Yes, that's the potential. That's what the sources indicate. And in some cases, if the Pell Grant amount actually exceeds the cost of tuition and fees, a small stipend is even paid directly to the student. Pocket money.
Wow. That is truly a game changer. It just removes what must seem like an insurmountable financial barrier for so many people. It makes real education accessible.
It is a critical mechanism for scalability and impact, leveraging existing federal aid programs to empower individuals in crisis towards self-sufficiency. It's smart.
Absolutely.
And beyond the financial aid, these educational partnerships allow for customized training, too. They can develop specific cohorts or tailored educational tracks specifically for mission staff or clients, like City Vision does with its strategic partner Springs RM, St. Matthew's House. This ensures the curriculum is highly relevant to their context.
And you mentioned the concept of giving academic credit for things learned within the mission itself prior learning assessment. Tell me more about that.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So City Vision University partners with organizations like the Urban Ministry Institute, TUMI, Teen Challenge, and programs using the Genesis Process curriculum. And they grant college credit for skills and knowledge that individuals have gained through their experiences and participation in these mission-based programs.
Okay.
This values their lived experience. It recognizes the skills developed during recovery, during discipleship programs, and it accelerates the path to a formal credential because they're not starting from absolute zero.
That concept of valuing the wounded healer journey not just as personal growth, but as quantifiable academic credit, that's a pretty profound validation of someone's entire experience, isn't it?
It fundamentally shifts the perspective. It recognizes the strength, the wisdom, the practical skills gained through overcoming incredible adversity. It's not just a deficit to overcome. It's an asset.
Okay, so educational partnerships are huge. What about partnerships with employers? That seems equally vital for completing the cycle.
Absolutely vital. These create the direct hiring pipelines for program graduates. Springs Rescue Mission, UGM Dallas, Cherry Street Mission, they all highlight connections with specific hiring companies. Orange County Rescue Mission has that partner construction company that specifically hires graduates from their trades program.
Connecting the training directly to a real job opportunity, that's the ultimate goal, right?
It is. And these partnerships often provide those crucial real-world internships or experiential work opportunities we talked about. Plus, they ensure that the training being offered is truly aligned with the skills employers in the local area are actually looking for. It keeps the training relevant.
Yeah.
Employer presentations during the training, mock interviews conducted by actual hiring managers, like those for Cherry Street Mission's forklift cohorts or at Central Union Mission, those are practical examples of this direct connection in action.
Okay. And missions also collaborate with other nonprofits and community resources, too, to kind of broaden the support network.
Right. Yes, definitely. They partner for referrals to specialized services the mission might not provide directly, like Buffalo City Mission partners with the Buffalo Employment and Training Center for Workforce Reentry Support. Phoenix Rescue Mission works with HE Plus to help clients access social services. Central AZ Shelter Services expands the range of services available. It's about leveraging the whole community. Even partnerships with local government entities, like Phoenix Rescue Mission's collaborations with the cities of Glendale and Scottsdale on workforce development initiatives, are part of this comprehensive collaborative landscape.
So it's not just a few isolated partnerships here and there. It often forms an entire ecosystem of support and opportunity. Is that a fair way to put it?
That's a perfect way to put it. An ecosystem. Missions might utilize free or low-cost vetted curricula from places like rescuemissioncurriculum.org. Some of that learning might even lead to that prior learning assessment credit at City Vision University. The education is made affordable through their partnership model and Pell Grants. And this education, plus the practical skills gained, can then lead to employment, maybe back within the mission itself, or with partner employers. It's a powerful, interconnected cycle enabled by collaboration.
This network of partnerships clearly makes the vocational training programs far more robust and effective than if missions were trying to build all this capacity on their own. It brings specialized expertise and resources right to the table that directly benefit the clients.
It significantly amplifies their capability and their reach, creating a much more impactful pathway for transformation, no question.
All of this sounds incredibly comprehensive and really promising, but the big question is, does it actually work? Section 6 is where we look at the evidence, the reported outcomes, and the real-world impact these programs are having. What do the numbers say?
Right, this is where the rubber meets the road. And it's worth noting again, as that research overview source pointed out, while many missions are doing this important work, detailed, consistent public reporting of outcomes isn't universal across the whole sector. Many organizations fall into what the researchers called Tiers 3 and 4 in terms of publicly available program details and quantifiable results. So the examples we do have are particularly valuable because they give us concrete data.
Okay, so let's highlight some of the missions that do share their quantifiable successes. What are the numbers telling us?
Well, Cherry Street Mission is one that provides strong, clear data. They report that 80% of their workforce development graduates are employed within 30 days of completing the program.
80% within a month. That's fast.
It is. Their graduates earn an average wage of $20 an hour. And impressively, they have a 70% job retention rate at the 3-year mark.
70% retention after 3 years. Wow, that points to genuinely sustainable change, not just a temporary placement.
It really does. And crucially, they note that participants pay $0 for the training itself.
Incredible. What other examples?
Mel Trotter Ministries, specifically through their Next Step Wood program, reported that 458 individuals secured sustainable employment last year through their various programs. For the Wood training program itself, they cited a 77% job placement and retention rate. And over 12 years, that specific program has helped over 250 individuals launch careers in woodworking.
That's impressive longevity and impact.
They even received a National Wooden Globe Award for the program's excellence. That kind of recognition speaks volumes.
Yeah, definitely. How about Springs Rescue Mission?
Springs Rescue Mission reported significant achievements as well. In 2022, 90 certifications were earned, and around 100 graduates found employment. More recent data from 2024 indicates 598 guests learned new skills through their programs, and 72 secured jobs directly through SRM initiatives, with an average starting wage of $20.25 an hour.
Similar wage level to Cherry Street? That seems to be a target.
It seems to be a target for livable wages, yes.
Yeah.
They also note a high internal hiring rate, meaning many program graduates become mission staff themselves.
That's that wonderful outcome. Again, someone is helped by the mission, gains skills, and then becomes part of the team helping others. That grow your own model.
Absolutely. And City Vision University's Wounded Healers program, focusing on addiction counseling, reported a very high graduate employment rate of 94% in 2023.
94%. For a population with a history of addiction and trauma, that is an exceptional success rate.
It really is. It demonstrates the effectiveness of that learn, do, teach model and the value of accredited credentials in that specific field.
What about some others mentioned? Phoenix, UGM Dallas. Phoenix
Rescue Mission reported 66 individuals obtaining employment and 15 clients earning their Arizona Career Readiness credential in a single fiscal year, FY20. UGM Dallas reported 199 individuals gainfully employed in FY22. St. Matthew's House trains and employs over 100 program participants annually within their own extensive operations, and they state that approximately 40% of their entire staff are former program participants. That's huge integration.
40%, wow.
And they also report facilitating around 120 external job placements annually on top of that.
Okay.
And Orange County Rescue Mission reports that graduates of their skilled trades program are securing jobs in the construction trades, including with their partner construction company, directly addressing those local labor needs we talked about. So these numbers, collected across different missions, different programs, different time periods, they consistently point to significant positive outcomes in terms of employment, wages, and retention.
While the quantitative data is compelling, the sources also included some powerful qualitative impacts, the personal stories that really bring the numbers to life.
Yes, and these stories are essential for understanding the human impact, aren't they? Hearing from City Vision Wounded Healers alumni like John Dean, who shared how he uses his 20 years of brokenness to be able to serve others, that powerfully illustrates the transformation from participant to helper. Brittany Curry, who went through St. Matthew's House's program, found her passion, and is now a development officer right there at the mission. Jeffrey Crick went from being a recovery program graduate to becoming a program director.
Or Ken at UGM Dallas, who learned to read through the program. I mean, just think about that. That's a foundational skill, opening up a whole world of possibilities beyond just getting a job.
Absolutely life-changing.
Yeah.
And Crystal at City Mission, who completed job training, earned certifications, got a job, and now has the stability and the vision to dream of opening her own transitional home someday to help others. These testimonials demonstrate that the outcomes aren't just about employment figures. They are about restoring dignity, rebuilding identity, breaking destructive cycles, and enabling individuals to become self-sufficient, contributing members of their communities. It's profound.
You mentioned the challenge in consistent reporting earlier, that not everyone shares detailed data. What does that tell us, or why is that important?
Well, the observation from the research overview source that many organizations fall into tiers 3 and 4 regarding publicly available detailed program and outcome data, it really highlights the importance of the missions that do make this effort. When missions systematically track and share their results like placement rates, wages, retention over time, it provides invaluable evidence of effectiveness. It helps demonstrate impact to potential donors and partners, allows programs internally to identify what's working best and what might need tweaking, and it offers crucial insights for replication by other missions wanting to start or improve their own programs. Transparency matters.
But the evidence we do have from these detailed programs is very strong and points towards real, lasting transformation.
It absolutely does. These numbers and these stories, they represent lives genuinely turned around, families potentially reunited, and individuals finding hope and stability after facing incredible adversity. It's powerful stuff.
Seeing these inspiring outcomes, both the hard data and the personal transformations, it really makes you wonder what lessons can be shared more broadly and how these successful models can be scaled up. Section 7 is all about looking ahead recommendations and the potential for wider impact.
Yeah, based on the insights gleaned from these sources about what makes these programs effective, there are clear takeaways, both for other missions looking to enhance their workforce development efforts and also for the partners who collaborate with them.
Okay, so what are some of the key lessons or recommendations for other gospel rescue missions listening to this?
Well, a major one seems to be actively seek out and leverage partnerships. Don't try to do it all internally. Explore educational collaborations, like City Vision University's tiered model, which offers significant benefits even at the entry affiliate level. Build relationships with local employers and community resources. Don't operate in a silo.
And utilize the resources that are already out there, readily available.
Absolutely. Incorporate readily available curricula and courses from sources like cityvisioninstitute.org, which offers free courses, or vetted materials reviewed on rescuemissioncurriculum.org into your existing programming. These can significantly bolster your training offerings with minimal cost compared to developing everything from scratch.
And maximizing financial aid. That seems like a non-negotiable operational focus based on what you said about Pell Grants.
It seems critical, yes. Missions should proactively assist eligible clients in applying for Pell Grants and other aid. As the sources highlight, this can effectively make accredited college-level education free for participants, potentially even providing that small stipend. It removes a massive financial barrier and makes higher education truly accessible. It's a must-do.
And integrating training holistically within existing recovery or discipleship programs seems essential for providing that necessary stable base rather than making it a separate thing.
Yes. Embed the training within your long-term residential programs if you have them. Consider using cohort models to build that peer support among learners. And explore training your own mission staff. Perhaps even alumni who have completed training themselves to facilitate some of the training modules. This keeps the learning within the supportive mission environment and culture.
And valuing the unique journey and experience of the clients themselves.
Definitely. Explore prior learning assessment options if you partner with institutions that offer it. give clients academic credit for skills and knowledge gained through their participation in mission programs or relevant life experiences. This validates their journey, recognizes the value of that wounded healer perspective, and can accelerate their path to formal credentials. It honors their past while building their future.
Finally, tracking and reporting outcomes transparently. That seems vital for demonstrating effectiveness and learning what works best over time.
Absolutely. Systematically collect data on job placement rates, track retention rates over time, like Cherry Street's 3-year mark, and ideally, monitor wage progression. Sharing this data publicly demonstrates the program's impact, helps attract support from donors and partners, and provides valuable information for refining the programs themselves.
You manage what you measure.
Okay, so those are really actionable recommendations for missions themselves. What about for the other side? For educational institutions, employers, and other potential partners, how can they enhance their support for this vital work?
Well, educational partners can look at expanding their relevant program offerings. Develop more courses and certificates in high-demand, livable wage fields that are specifically tailored for re-entry populations, perhaps with flexible scheduling or delivery. Strengthening data collaboration with missions is also key. Working together on outcome tracking and reporting provides a much clearer picture of program effectiveness end-to-end and helps identify areas for joint improvement.
And employers have a very direct role to play, obviously. Absolutely. Employers can actively cultivate partnerships with missions to build those direct hiring pipelines for program graduates. Be open to second chance hiring. This provides that essential final step from training to a real job. Partners can also continue to increase accessibility to their programs or opportunities through flexible online formats, maybe simplified application processes, and just generally recognizing the unique circumstances and potential resilience of this population.
It really sounds like a truly collaborative effort across different sectors. Nonprofit, education, business, government is needed to maximize success.
It is. The missions provide the foundational support, the safe environment, the holistic care. Educational partners provide the accredited pathways and specialized expertise. Employers provide the job opportunities. Community partners fill in crucial service gaps. It's an ecosystem where each part strengthens the whole.
And the potential for scalability with some of these models seems significant, particularly those leveraging online education and financial aid like Pell Grants. Doesn't seem limited to just one location.
That's a key takeaway, I think. Online education, like City Vision University's model, allows training to reach individuals almost anywhere. The partnership models allow for local support and contextualization even with online learning. And the financial architecture, heavily reliant on leveraging existing resources like Pell Grants, makes it potentially replicable and sustainable for participants, regardless of their financial situation starting out. These models offer a replicable framework with substantial potential for addressing complex workforce development and reentry challenges on a much broader scale than individual missions operating in isolation ever could.
That's incredibly encouraging. It suggests that the success we're seeing in these individual missions isn't just a collection of isolated anecdotes or heroic efforts. It's built on principles, structures, and partnerships that could be applied and expanded elsewhere to impact even more lives.
It really points to a clear path forward for expanding access to life-changing vocational training for those who need it most, transforming not just individuals, but potentially entire communities over time.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored the foundational reasons why vocational training is so essential for lasting transformation at gospel rescue missions, moving beyond immediate aid to truly sustainable livelihoods. We've mapped out the incredible range of skills being taught, from academic certificates that leverage lived experience to hands-on trades, essential digital literacy, and basic education. We've seen how these programs integrate crucial life skills, soft skills, and practical job readiness, all wrapped within vital support services and amplified by powerful partnerships with educational institutions, employers, and the wider community.
Yeah, that integrated approach is key.
And we've looked at the promising outcomes, the job placement rates, the wage data, the impressive retention numbers, and maybe most importantly, the powerful personal stories that demonstrate real, profound transformation.
It's clear that these programs are doing vital, effective work. They're providing not just skills for a job, but really equipping individuals with the tools, the confidence, and the support needed to rebuild their lives and find stability and purpose.
What this truly tells us, I think, is something profound about the resilience and the inherent potential within individuals who have faced such deep challenges: homelessness, addiction, incarceration. It really challenges us as communities to think about how we can better recognize and support the organizations that are actively tapping into that potential and transforming lives through skill building and genuine opportunity. And maybe think about that concept of wounded healers once more. How does valuing someone's past struggles, their lived experience, become not a deficit, not something to be ashamed of, but a crucial asset? How does it become a key to their future success and maybe even their unique ability to help others find their own path forward?
It reframes the entire narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Recognizing the incredible strength and the unique wisdom that can be gained through overcoming adversity, it's a powerful shift in perspective.
It really is a powerful thought to consider as we wrap up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We hope you enjoy this episode and that it both inspires and equips you to serve the least, the last, and the lost in Jesus' name. You can find the show notes for this episode and subscribe to our newsletter at rescuemissions.cityvision.edu. If you would like to learn more about City Vision University's courses and degree programs, visit our website at www.cityvision.edu.